Okay, by now you should at least have some of these drawings. All the elevations, 2 sections minimum, and a floor plan. Also, so you got the 4 elevations, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you could label them east, west, south, north, whatever it is, label them up. Section A, section BB, we'll talk about that a little bit. And whoops, this should be a floor plan, huh? So this should be a floor plan. If I know how to spell floor right, correctly. And there it is. That should be a floor plan, and we got a perspective. So those 8 drawings are a must-to-have. Now, we did place it onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet, or actually 11 by 8.5 sheet, and this is going to be a 1/4 inch scale output, so that's why we scale factor this as 48. And when we cover scale a lot further, we'll explain why this is. But as long as you have this at 48, we should be fine. Okay. Just a couple more things to take care of these drawings is, since we won't be able to do it by hand because we don't have a big enough drawing table, for the perspective, to make a horizontal horizon line, just copy some of these lines over. Select that, copy it over here, select this, copy it over there, and then fillet, F-I-L-L-E-T. That is a command. So wherever the lines converge, that's where the lines end. Radius, we want to put this at 0 because we don't want this to have a curly line at the, or curly circle at the end. So radius is 0. Join, no. Trim, yes. Extend arc, don't really care about that. These don't really apply. Okay, but if we click on these two, you'll notice that it extends. Where they converge, that's where the lines end. Okay? In a perspective drawing, where these lines converge is where the horizon line is supposed to be. So we could do both sides, it'll be the same thing. If I go copy this guy over here, put it over here, whoops. Got to be careful about selecting it, huh? And then copy this to there. And if I do fillet, if I select that point and that point, it should have a converging line there. By theory, since this is a perfect cube, you should be able to take this endpoint and draw a line. And if we go straight, you could use the ortho F8 or click on this bottom button right there. If we click out here, where these two lines converge on the other side, that's where this line should be. And it looks like it is, right? So we figured out where the horizon line is. So I do not need erase these lines now, and this is the only line that I really need. If I trim and trim from this part to this part, that, because I don't see through the building. And this out here, I should be able to make a nice border to it. So offset 1/2. No, it's not 1/2. Let's just do this. We'll just draw this as the line to go to. Trim. Use those as a cutting surface, and I'm going to trim the outside portions. Erase that. Whoops, erase that and erase that, and I should have a horizon line behind my building. Okay, so when we put our presentation board together, we just put a horizon line like this so that it looks like your building is not floating up in the air, that it's actually landed onto a site. Okay. All right, so make sure that you have that on there. as well as all the cleaned up sheets. And also, I noticed like right here, this is like two separate lines, this and this. I could, if I wanted, clean this up and make it into one single set line. That would actually be a better bet in the future when we start setting line weights in the computer. So as much cleanup as you can, you should do it in the computer. Okay, so I think this is kind of ready to plot right now, and we'll do that in the next process.